I was the guy who had an answer for everything. If you talked to me about faith, I'd talk to you about science. If you talked to me about miracles, I'd talk to you about coincidences and brain chemistry. I thought Jesus was a great story for people who couldn't handle the harsh reality of the real world. I used to look at people praying and think, who are you talking to? The ceiling isn't listening. I wasn't just a skeptic. I was a professional at being right. And then came the Tuesday that broke me. I'm not going to tell you a story about a bright light in the sky or a voice booming from the clouds. It was much more terrifying than that. I was at the absolute end of my rope. Everything I had built with my logic and my strength had collapsed. My career was a wreck. My relationship was over. And for the first time in my life, I couldn't think my way out of the hole. I was sitting in my car in a parking lot at 2 a.m. Rain was hitting the roof, and the silence was so loud it felt like it was crushing my chest. I felt invisible. Like if I disappeared right then, the universe wouldn't even blink. And in a moment of pure, pathetic desperation, the kind of moment I used to mock, I looked at the rearview mirror and I whispered, if you're actually there, if I'm not just talking to a piece of glass, then say something. Not a sign, not a coincidence. Tell me something only you could know, or just let me quit. Nothing happened, no thunder, no lightning. I laughed at myself, wiped my eyes, and reached for the keys to start the car. I felt like an idiot. I thought, see, just like I thought. Empty. But as I reached for the ignition, a thought popped into my head. It wasn't my own thought. You know how your own thoughts feel. They have your voice. This was different. It was a memory. A memory of a toy, a small blue plastic car I had lost when I was 5 years old. I hadn't thought about that toy in 30 years. I had forgotten it even existed. And the thought said, it's under the floorboard of the old tool shed. I've been holding on to it for you. I almost threw up. That's not a spiritual thought. That's a weird, random glitch in the matrix thought. 2 days later, I drove to my parents' old house, a place I hadn't visited in a decade. The tool shed was still there, rotting in the backyard. I went inside, moved a stack of rusted paint cans, and pried up a loose board. And there it was, a small, dusty, blue plastic car. I didn't fall on my knees because I saw a toy. I fell on my knees because I realized that for 30 years, someone had been watching me. Someone knew the 5-year-old boy who cried when he lost his favorite toy. Someone knew the 35-year-old man who was about to give up in a parking lot. In that moment, my logic died. Because logic can't explain why the creator of the universe would care about a piece of plastic under a floorboard. I didn't believe, until I realized he was obsessed with the details of my life. See, we think Jesus is looking for believers. We think he's looking for people who can pass a theology test or follow a set of rules. But I'm telling you, he's looking for you. He's not interested in your belief. He's interested in your presence. He's been standing in the corner of your life, watching you try to figure it out on your own, waiting for the moment you get tired enough to finally ask a question. He's not a judge sitting on a throne a million miles away. He's the one who knows where you buried your childhood dreams. He's the one who knows the exact number of tears you've shed into your pillow when you thought the world was empty. If you're watching this and you're the skeptic, if you're the one who thinks this is all just emotional garbage, I get it. I was you. But I want to challenge you. Don't ask for a sign. Don't ask for a miracle. Ask him to tell you something only he knows. Ask him to meet you in the blue car moments of your life, Because the most shocking thing about Jesus isn't his power, it's his memory. He hasn't forgotten a single second of your life. I didn't believe until I realized I was never, ever alone. And neither are you.